Hey everyone, A Student Pilot back at you. How are you doing? So, for those of you who follow my channel, in the last video, I stated that I would make you visit a very beautiful and very historical place of Paris that's also a landmark. Sadly, this video did not materialize, and I'm very sorry I couldn't share that with you. But that place that I was going to visit and share with you is actually the obelisk that Napoleon brought back from Egypt. That's why it's a little piece of Egypt into France, and I'm very sorry I couldn't share that with you. However, this obelisk is at Place de la Concorde in Paris, and I highly encourage that you should visit it. It's a very beautiful site, and you basically have a piece of Egypt into France. And to me, that's just really cool that we were able to, get that from the ancient world and actually redecorate it and restore it to its modern glory. And that's something that's very, very dear to the people of France. And it was even bequeathed to us by the president of Egypt at the time, who was Hosni Mubarak. With that being said, I know I haven't posted a video from 2019 up to right now, basically. And the reason for that was because I was very busy with research in Paris, and eventually when I went back to the United States, I actually got my master's degree, which was a very big achievement. But I also did many things and eventually achieved one goal that was dear to me. But achieving that goal required me to move to Poland. So right now I'm in the city of Poznan in Poland, and on February 7th, I had the idea of sharing with you a little bit of a tour of the city. Now, the video was shot at night because I was actually leaving my class, which ended at 7. So as I went back home, I decided to vlog this trip, and I think that it'll be very entertaining for you, as well as share a little bit of the city. So without further ado, let's get started. Right now, we have just left the anesthesia building, and I'm gonna go all the way to my dorm, and it's the dorm of Esculac, right? So right now, this street is called Mostova, Ulica Mostova, and I have to walk along Ulica Mostova all the way to the hotel called Hotel Mercure. So I know this is night, it seems unsafe, but it is actually one of the safest places in Poznan right now. So right now I'm going to cross the road, and we can see down there, guys, we have train tracks. So that's where the tram actually leaves. Because the tram goes near here. And what we're going to do is that we're actually going to follow Ulica Mostova on this side, okay, not on the other side. So what's really cool in Poznan is that sometimes, the buildings have parkings below them. And that's why you see this car just moving along. So there's the tram again. There's line number 13. And this is the tram that we plan to take as we go along. So the reason why I'm not taking the other path is that there's a park here, and there's a church behind the park. You can see it over there. And what happens is that I'm not going to go near there because the park is a bit dark and I don't really like that. So instead, I think it's better to go over on this side where we have the street. So, there's a sensor here. Right now, it seems that it's not working, so people are jaywalking. Again, that's tram number 13. Let's let it pass. So right now, I know the city is still sleeping, or getting ready to sleep. So businesses are closed. Like you see the center med here, it's a medical center. That's the business that's closed. But the Żabka over there, you probably see a sign that says Żabka. These stores stay open, and they're usually open 24/7 because it's a really nice convenience store where you could buy anything. And by anything, I mean you can buy fresh fruits, you can buy fresh bread, you can buy frozen food to cook at home, candy bars. So this is really a very nice store because it sells everything that you need in case of emergency. It even sells medicine, guys. So this is really like your go-to place for anything that's quick or easy. So Poznan is also home to many churches. If you look here, we have a very nice church that's beautiful. This is really beautiful. And what you don't see here is the facade. And the facade is, again, something that's really worth
worth seeing, as you can see. So in fact, the place that we're at, so we're on the I'm going to the train station now, but the place that we have on our left, this is actually a market. So it's active during the day. There's still some stands open at night, but we're not going to go through it because, you know, this is, even though this is, you know, Platz Bernardinski, you know, which is a square, we're not going to go to the market today. Maybe another time. There's actually a better market near Platz Wielkopolska, which is the main square in Poznan. And usually most squares are near churches. So as you can see, this is the church that we've seen, you know, on our way to, and it's just magnificent, just the beautiful architecture and really the lighting, you know, that's there. So this is the beauty of the city, is that it's a very old city, and the churches are there to have stood really the test of time, because they're still in use and they're still beautiful to look at, and it's really what confers to the city its beauty. Here, what we have is a beautiful place. It used to be a palace, you know, and that's where the nobility in Poznan used to live in the time of nobility and kings. So this is a very beautiful space. So on our left, what you see here is actually a small shopping mall, because what you have is that you have these stores here: Campo, Action, Rossmann, Millennium Bank, and Biedronka. Biedronka is means ladybug, and it's a store that sells literally everything, like a small grocery store. And it's nice to see, you know, the mall that you have on your right, and really, you know, the palace that we just saw on your left. So it's an interesting compare and contrast between the modern life and the city and the ancient life. So again, this is also a famed place. As you can see, there are no cars here, no cars. So this is all, you know, a pedestrian place, and there's many businesses here. You see, you have the Thai massage place, an apteka here. Apteka is for groceries. And over there in the distance, we can actually see a bank. It's the BNP Paribas, which is a bank that's a French bank that also has few things. So the apteka over there, that's actually a pharmacy, because apteka means pharmacy. And, you know, there's many brands. There's Zico, for example, over there. But the main one is Apteka Wielkopolska, which is known as State Pharmacy. This is actually where I used to be, guys. In fact, if you look at the McDonald's here, that my hotel used to be right up the street. Okay? And what I would do is that I would not take the tram, because I didn't know how the tram works. I would walk all the way up to here, cross the road, and then go to the McDonald's. So that's where that was, you know, from a very, very first days of visiting the city. Alright? And this is also a small square, but that's really a confluence of roads, so I don't want to think of it as a square, most likely. So with old buildings, what's nice is that at the ground floor you have the businesses, okay? And then if you go through, you can see that if you go through there, you actually have the residential spaces. So usually that's a nice thing, is that in Europe, at least in France, you just have the residential space. But here you have the business ground and the residential space in the back. Now the thing is that the city here is under construction, so there's a lot of construction behind. But what we're going to go to right now, that's actually the main square. Okay, Stary Rynek. Stary means old and Rynek means market. So it's the old market square of Poznan. And it's really a treat that we have to go through there, because, you know, I just had my first aid class, and I'm walking home. And it's really a nice sight to go through Stary Rynek at night. Now, obviously, they haven't taken the Christmas tree down, so this was, you know, the main Christmas tree. And what we see here is that this is a museum, okay? And this Stary Rynek, in fact, it used to be a castle. And at noon every day, what happens is that two mechanized goats come and hit each other. That's a landmark of the city. Now, Saturday night, it's a very beautiful place, but there are many clubs here during the night time. So if you're looking for, a good time, you can always go to a club and have some fun. But that's not something I do because I'm not much of a night person. Usually during the night, it's when I used to study. So these are most garden buildings. So what you see here, it's a museum, and you see all those Polish flags because it's a museum. I believe it's a museum to the war. So Saturday night also, what's interesting is that you have to see the many fountains that are here. And that really is a very beautiful place. Maybe if I get some time and I'm de-stressed, I could show you more of Saturday night around. So another restaurant that we have here is Piccolo. Now Piccolo is just a spaghetti bar. It's really a restaurant where you can just eat pasta. And the pasta they sell is actually really very tasty because it's made, in on site with actual kettles of boiling water. So it's not just something they toss in the microwave, it's something that's actually made, guys. Now guys, what we're on right now is Avenue Masinkovskiego. That is the most famous and oldest artery of the city. So you can see this is a very ornate avenue. You see that there are sculptures over there, and they don't operate during the night. There are trees. So this is just to emphasize that this is a very important artery of the city. And of course, like all avenues, you always have, a lot of businesses. So what's really nice is that, during the day, all those businesses and these places are teeming with city life. Okay, so this is really, really cool. And what we have here on our left is actually the university. This is a university where they teach mostly economics. Okay, and actually that's not a university, that's a museum. Okay, so this is Museum Narodowe. Okay, I believe that's an art museum, but I could be wrong. Yes, it's actually an art museum. That's what it is. So this is the art museum of the city of Poznan. Now, of course, with all museums, you always see, a Polish flag and a Polish emblem. Okay? This symbolizes this is actually a government building. And over here, you have a library, a bookstore, a very nice library. It might be a university library, but I know it doesn't belong to ours. And you can even see out there, you can see the people in the small cubicles, learning something or reading a book. So I don't know what this place is, but I would love to go out there and read something, as long as I read something, keeping my mind entertained. So this place here, this is the seat, I believe, where the government is, and there also was a Christmas market here. And this is I forget the name of this square, but it's actually past Unorski. Alright? So, yes. That's where they used to have actually that's where they used to have the Christmas market. The other square was probably another one. But you know, there are many squares here in this place that it's very easy to mistake one for another. Yeah, this place will not. Okay, so right now, guys, we're on City Martin or Saint Martin, and we're actually on our way to see the hotel in which I stayed at. And again, you know, City Martin was a very nice place because the hotel I lived in was right near Centrum or city center, if you want. So, of course, when I left City Martin, I was a bit sad because my hotel room actually gave me a really nice view. So over here you have also a small mall. Okay, 24 City Martin. It's actually a fairly large shopping center. But it's really nice because you have all the stores that you need. And this is actually where I bought my first umbrella. Alright, this is the place. So, and I also said my first Polish sentence, chciałbym parasol kupić, which means I would like to buy an umbrella. And that was, again, a very emotional moment because I could suddenly tell myself I finally learned the Polish language, which is, I have to admit, a difficult language. So a lot of things I like is how the businesses are. So, you know, it's not Christmas yet, but you know, the stores already have their facade lined with hearts for Valentine's Day. Okay? And again, you know, even for this kebab place, you see lights that are trying to attract the customers. So you see the Hongyu, this is Asian delicacies. So good food for anyone who wants to have, you know, a bit of Asian food. And, you know, we see again this grill here, hashtag. Now, although we see everything here, we see many restaurants. Okay, but again, Poznan is known also for its food, but also for its culture, the vibrant city culture that we see right now. So even though we're you know in the center of the city, we have right here we have a yoga academy. All right, so right now we're about to see the hotel I lived in. I actually didn't really live in. I stayed in there for about 10 days. All right, so it's right here, Hotel Altus. It's this big building here, and I used to stay in one of these rooms on the 8th floor. Now over here, that's where you can see Thali there. There's a beautiful, a very good Indian restaurant, and I really highly recommend it because not only was it close to the hotel, the food served was great. So of course we're not going to stay here too much because I have to get home. But again, Hotel Altus, this is it, guys. This is where I used to stay. And this is also, there's a bank there named Santander where I opened my very first bank account for here to live in Poznan. So as you can see here, Hotel Altus, here it is in the blue. That's the lobby over here, and it's kind of hidden a little bit, so you kind of have to, you know, try to peek in and see where the entrance is. So the entrance to the Hotel Altus is actually right here. Okay, that's where you go in to check in. And we see there's a man going in, so I guess that works for us. So this was actually a very nice area, I remember, because there used to be an animated fountain not far from here, which gave a nice chill during the sit. Now obviously, as you see here, you know, you see many businesses again that are still open. Like for example, there's this Japanese place, I believe it's a restaurant. But there's also this game box over there that's video game services for video game consoles and even gaming laptops. Okay, and you have again a job cut here, very important, the job cut. Now here you have Bank Picao. Now I didn't go to Bank Picao to open an account. I used Santander. Really like the bank, very good bank, and I recommend if you ever live in Poznan, definitely bank with Santander. A good bank. So over here in purple, we have a tanning parlor. So you can still get tan even if you live in Northern Europe. It's still possible. So I don't believe it would be useful and I wouldn't recommend it. But, you know, for those of you who do anything to be pretty, it's something that you can do. And again, we have Zipco here, Zika Apteka, Pharmacy, Taxi Boost, which is a burger store. Not a very good restaurant per se. They all have they serve a lot of beef and I don't eat beef. So right now, we have this Bangkok place, Millennium Bank, and then right here, you have the end of the Santander Bank. That's where I went to open my first bank account here. Alright? And next to the bank, we have over here a Biedronka store. This is your general store. And Biedronka in Polish means ladybug. So the store is named after the bug. And that's why when you have the Biedronka, you have a ladybug here. This store is a very nice store because it has a nice little passage underground that I went to. And in there I remember asking to see if the food was vegetarian. And there's a beautiful blonde teenage girl that helped me out. So as you look at the facades of the building, you know, some are almost modern, but some are still also very ancient. And this is really a gem of the city to see, you know, such ancient facades that yet have, like, you know, the lighting and give it a beautiful elegance. Okay? And again, what I want to emphasize is these facades, you know, the people are still living in there. Like if you look at this facade, you see over here a room that's lit. So these are apartments. And here's another bank, BNP Paribas, the French bank. So another thing I want to say to you guys is that, you know, you have bookstores here. Now, although most of the bookstores, the titles are in Polish, sometimes they have English titles, okay? But the thing is that even though the titles are English, the books are in Polish, so you want to be careful and not buy, a book in Polish, even though the front cover is in English. So, on my left, you're going to see a beautiful castle. Now, I believe this castle is the place of a museum, but you see the tower in front of me, you may not see it, it's right here. It was actually heavily destroyed during the war. Now, when we refer to the war, I'm of course referring to World War II, where the city was, where Poland was actually invaded by the Germans, especially on the west. Poland was invaded by the Germans. On the east, it was invaded by the Russians in 1939. Because Hitler signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that stated that Poland would be divided in half by the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. So again, this is the cultural center, and there's a small theater also. And it's really nice that you see this in the facade of a building built in stone. I don't know where the girls went after. So one thing I'm telling you guys is that Poznan, and mostly Poland, is known for the beautiful women here. Of course, I'm not going to know much about marrying a Polish woman, but it's just, you know, a nice thing that's worth seeing. It's, Now, another thing here is that the people actually speak English. But if you try to speak Polish to them, they'll smile and they'll try their best, because they also know that Polish is indeed a hard language. So again, you know, this is the other structure here. So this right here is, I believe it's Freedom Square, and the monument here is to commemorate the liberators who died fighting for Poland during the war. Of course, there's a lot of the memories of the war here are commemorated, and they're usually commemorated with a lot of respect for the people that died to liberate Poland. So, you know, this is really a lot of things here. So one thing you don't want to say is Polish death camps, because the Poles did not build the death camps, the Germans did. And again, look at this beautiful architecture in the city. Just wonderful. So it's nice because this is actually it's actually a school. It's a college auditorium inside. Okay. Now, of course, this is only part of it. Okay. This is part of the university, but it's mostly a theater for performing arts. And in the next building, that's when you have the university hall. It's actually a lecture hall. And again, it's nice to see this beautiful glass building, you know, which is the headquarters of the bank, very modern, next to a very old building. So that's really the beauty of Poznan, is that you can combine modern with the old. And it's really this fusion that makes the city very unique. So this is actually the University Wikipieska in Poznan. And this is the administration building of the city. Now, there's a portal there, and we're not going to go in, because this is actually where we have our graduation ceremony. So, if all goes well, in 5 years, I'm going to be walking in this building, you know, with my degree in hand. Okay, so right now we have the Mercure Hotel, and there are rail lines underneath, because we're near the Poznan Główny. Now, Główny means head, okay? And Poznan Główny means Poznan main station. So, you know, the train station is actually, I believe, a bit this way. And we have a tunnel here. There's an Avenue Shopping Mall. Now, I'm actually going to ask a passerby where Avenida is. This one is nice. Przepraszam. Oh, she was on her phone. That's okay. I think that's enough. So again, the really cool thing here is that the underpasses are underground. So you cannot cross this, you can't cross the ceiling on foot. That's not always the case though. But I need to find a passerby who will be kind enough to tell me what Avenida is.
Turn left.
Oh, well actually it seems that the GPS was still on. So I'm going to listen to my GPS. So actually we're outside the underpass. So what's really cool with the underpass is that it takes you underground. And it is a nice place because you get above ground. So let you know guys, it's really cold. And underground you have businesses too. You have right there some sort of gym. Clothing store. A relay, which is like, you know, it's like what it is. If you want to relay your thing. Now we have Centrum here. Now I don't want to go back to Centrum. I'll have to ask maybe another passerby. Maybe just go in that house. Przepraszam. Gdzie jest Avenida?
Avenida to jest takie centrum handlowe przy dworcu.
Centrum?
Tak.
Okay, tak. So as you can see, guys, the people here, vlogging, the people here also appreciate when you ask for directions, and they're very kind here. So I asked the woman, "Gdzie jest Avenida? Where is Avenida?" And she told me to head towards Centrum. So that's one thing, guys. Always try to speak a little Polish because the people really appreciate when you speak their language.
Yeah, of course.
And you see, the people also speak English.
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. Well,
You can go with me because I go to the train station and this is the same place.
oh, okay, yes, of course. So she's going to Poznan Goni. Goni is the train station which happens to be located very, very close to Avenida.
Yeah, because it's close to this train station.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sharp right.
So what we did is that we actually crossed the road over here underground. And this tube here, that's Avenida, which is a shopping mall and the train station in one.
Yeah.
Two in one building.
Yeah.
And as you can see, you have train tracks here. That's because these tracks lead to the main station. Now Goni, it's interesting because Goni means head in Polish. And Poznan Goni means Poznan head. And it's head for hub. Hub of the main train station.
Because old building, Poznan, it was the old train station.
Oh,
Now
okay.
we have this huge building, Avenida.
Which is the old and the new.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I don't know when I'm going to take the train, guys, but in 2 years my passport will expire. So
Slight right.
I'll have to go to Warsaw to renew my passport, and the best way to get to Warsaw is to take the train. Or they call it Warszawa here in Polish. It is Warsaw.
Okay. Can we go a little bit faster because I have my train?
No, you can catch a train. I might as well walk on it. So. So, right after we cross Avenida, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna, head over to a different part of town. Now, here, I really like that you have a small bar, and I really love the lights that the business put on to promote it. Okay? So, this right here is the train station. We can see the hub where the train is. And of course, this train station is divided in two. And if you keep going, you're going to see the sign Poznan Goni. So another thing, you guys, if you're going to be going some places in Poland, don't use a taxi. Use Uber or use Bolt, because the taxi will mostly overcharge you, and you'll end up paying a significantly higher price. So what we're going to do now, in fact, we're going to go up this alley right here, and then onto this building, because that's where the dorm is. It's towards that building. So we're not going to use this staircase, because it looks a bit shady, and we hear now a rumbling sound. There's probably a train coming in.
Turn right.
So this is Avenida, guys. If you keep going this way, you see Avenida Poznan. And Avenida Poznan is actually the shopping mall. Alright, so we just got at the base of it. I had to take a few things with my phone. Yes, I'm charging it right now. So right now we're gonna go up these stairs, and we're gonna be above the train station this time. Okay. So I could have taken the elevator, but I wanted you guys to experience a view of the city. So it rained here about in the morning, early in the morning. So the city just has some small puddles of water around it. Just something that you might want to see now. Right here, it's a beautiful building because you have this beautiful LCD screen. And in fact, this is the Centrum Targowe, the Poznan Stock Exchange, and the World Trade Center. So, you know, most of the stock trading now is done electronically. This building still houses most of the stock. And if you see here, we have the Polish flag next to the Ukrainian flag. And it really symbolizes the partnership that the two countries have entered in ever since the war started. And of course, this is a very busy thoroughfare. There's many cars here. And not only are there cars, there's the tram too. You can look at the tracks. Just when you go, try not to trip over them, guys. Now, oftentimes we hear the sound of planes because we're not far from the airport, so it's very common that you see the planes, and they always have their landing gear down because we're very, very close to the airport. So, you know, there's just something that you can hear almost every hour or so. There's the sound of a plane landing. They take off from the opposite side of the city, which is not very well inhabited, so we don't see them taking off. We just hear them landing, and it's really nice. now we're back on the main thoroughfare of the city. It's a very important street. This is the street on which my dorm is located. So we're gonna keep going through the street, on this street, okay? And hopefully, after a long walk, we're gonna reach my dorm. It's a bit of a walk, but I think we can do it. So again, this is the Sheraton Hotel, guys. So this is where the church is located. I believe it's located on the ground floor. And then you may have to cross through the building in order to access it. But I really don't know where it is. Neither do I want to know. But anyway, it's in this building. So what I really like about this small area is that, you know, there's a plaza over there where many restaurants are. But it's likely that these restaurants charge a nice price given they're near a very fancy hotel. So I haven't actually tried any of these restaurants over there, but, you know, maybe this is a nice place and it looks nice, judging by the number of boutiques there are over there. And there's also this little thing here called Someplace Else, which says eating and drinking establishment. Now, of course, there is a bar here, but what I really like is, you know, this gathering place for sports events. I don't know how much that is, but it certainly seems like a nice restaurant. Maybe even too nice for my budget. So this is the entry to Sheraton Hotel. And this is Rinek. Rinek means marketplace. There's a restaurant here. And this Rinek restaurant apparently serves many Polish dishes. Now, I'm not going to go inside. I've never tried it before. But it definitely seems to be a very, very high-end class. And if we look at the menu, we see here Fresh Market. We see wines and other dishes. So, this is, you know, something that's very, very expensive. And maybe even too much for my own budget, guys.
Okay guys, so I just want to do a quick summary about the video. Now the video was shot at night. It was shot as I was going back from my first aid class to my dorm, and the first aid class is located in the center of the city, and my dorm's a bit on the outskirts. So that's why it took a bit of a long way to walk there. Eventually, you know, I was very relaxed since I already took my exams, so that was a very relaxing walk and a brisk walk. It was really cold, and at some point I actually started having some pain in my fingers because I was using my fingers to manipulate the camera, and I did not have a heating pack, so that was a bit painful, but it was alright so far. I still made it to my dorm fine. What I really loved, however, was how I got to interact with a foreigner, like a person there, and that was caught on camera, and I really enjoyed talking to that person who indirectly participated in my vlog. What I also plan to do next time is that I may take you to a museum in the city, and I'm very hesitant between three museums. There's the Museum of the Army, which is located in Stary Rinek. There's also the Potato Museum here, and the Museum of Optical Illusions. So these are museums that I really like, I really love to visit, especially optical illusions, because that's something that I really like to see, how perception and shortcuts that our brain takes actually cause us to perceive certain things. So that's really something I look forward to looking at. Another thing is the Potato Museum. As you know, I'm a very big fan of potato products, especially French fries, potato wedges, and that's something that I would love to simply visit and see. And the War Museum, that's because I believe that the people of Poland fought a long war, and a very costly war, to gain their own independence, because that is basically almost 3 to 4 wars that they fought. The first one was in 1918 to establish the Republic of Poland. The second one was in 1939 when both Hitler and Stalin invaded Poland and split it 50-50. And then we have in 1941 when Hitler broke his non-aggression pact and actually marched east to Poland and into Russia, and was again when Russian troops fought back and actually overran Poland. Eventually, communism was in Poland for a while until the Solidarity movement emerged, and I believe that we should honor the victims of all those wars that fought for Polish independence, and that's why I really look forward to visiting the Army Museum in Stary Rynek. But again, I really don't know which museums to see next. I will keep you posted. I'll hopefully make another video. In the meantime, I just want to say it was a great making this video. I really loved the filming and editing process. I want to thank specifically Said Faisal Rahman, who is my roommate, and he contributed a lot to the video, and I definitely like his work, and definitely I hope to see you in the next video. Alright, bye guys.